Hey guys, Adam Shaw here. This weekend, Nathan Bendon will fight Seksan at One Lumphini 22. If you don't know Nathan, he's a very well established fighter. He's got a record of 29 wins, 8 losses and 1 draw. He also had some boxing fights. I think he had 8 fights with 4 wins, 3 losses and 1 draw. He did those in like a really short time, like a 3-year window between 2018 and 2021. He's also British, multi-time British, European and world champion. He had the WBC world title and British number 1. So yeah, let's get into it. We'll take a look. This isn't his most recent fight, but I'll show you some of that in a little bit. He's a very smart fighter, obviously with a boxing experience. He's got really good hands. So yeah, let's get into this. You can see Nathan, getting a little bit of, finding his ground with the jab. Sort of little movements just to, you wouldn't really see too much unless you're right in front of him, but these little sort of movements where he just lifts his leg up just a little bit and that kind of thing, that can really throw your opponent off. While you're sparring and stuff, while you're training, if you just, maybe land a jab and then lift up your back leg, you'll see that the other person will, after a while they'll pick up on it and want to try and block it. It's a good foundation. You can start to throw like kicks from it. You can throw teeps. You can do whatever you want. But these little things, some people, fighters like Israel Adesanya and Brad Riddell, they're really good at doing this. But Nathan also. So just these sort of little movements. I mean, it's a great way to start a fight. While you're getting your little reads. So the little variations on it. So you can see it like lifts up his left knee a little bit, and just half brings up the teeping leg from his back leg. You can see he's just staying very busy. That was a strong shot that he just landed there. Unfortunately, the referee's in the way, but you can kind of see, especially small gloves, there's a little gap just behind this guy's hand here. I think Nathan's trying to reach that with the left hook. He does, and into the right hand. So these little things that he's doing are very smart. I'll show you again. So he goes teep, which his opponent nearly catches. Then he fakes the teep, and then teeps the knee, but raises up the back leg, just keeping him guessing. And the shot that he does fire is the jab. Nice low kick. If you watch Seksan fight, I did one of his fights recently. It's almost like he's very easy to hit. And it doesn't really offer a huge amount of variation on attacks. He likes to throw like some spinning elbows and stuff like that, but he likes to use like a long right hand. He's not the most varied fighter in the world. I imagine that Nathan's boxing will be too much for him. But I mean, I'll let you judge for yourself. But Nathan's boxing is very effective and heavy. Sorry about this. I know. Pay for premium. One day. He's just setting it. There's a lot of little triggers and setups to everything that he does. I mean, that whipping inside leg kick was very nice. I just trying to see how he does that. So he lightens up on his toes before he throws it. Well, lightens up on his feet. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of power in there. It just takes a very short half step, just to really get power into that kick. And his opponent here is defending a jab. It's awkward to fight guys like that do that, like Nathan. Like all these little triggers, it can make you feel really tired as well. But you don't realise it kind of overwhelms your nervous system a little bit. I've heard George St. Pierre speaking about BJ Penn. saying that was one of his strategies to kind of exhaust his nervous system, and it does work. It's hard to keep you focused sometimes, even in the sparring room. Sometimes, like halfway through a round, you'll be like, you know, you get like mentally fatigued a little bit. Yeah, Conor McGregor speaks about that as well on his in the Ultimate Fighter. So when he's shallow boxing, he wants to kind of keep the same intensity as a fight where he's visualizing someone in front of him for that amount of time, and it does help with the mental stamina. It's a nice teep that he threw. Yeah, big. From all these little setups that he's been doing, like that, you know, these little things with his knee, and then yeah, catches him with a big teep like that. Very nice boxing, you know, Nathan. You know, obviously very sharp. You know, and especially wearing these smaller like MMA gloves, which he will be wearing when he fights Seksan. I mean, personally, I don't like to throw this big right hook to the body because your hand's away from your face for so long. If you look at me, like it would only just take a jab just to get that. But Nathan's intelligent, so what he's done is set it up so well that he knows that it's going to land. You know, to be honest, I find the left hook to the body more effective. But there may be a reason why Nathan likes to use that shot the way that he does. You know, he's very smart. If you check out his Instagram and stuff, he's got some really good and clever you know, training videos where he explains things too. So check that out. If I remember, I'll link it in the description. Yeah, I mean, you can see that his opponent's very. He looks overwhelmed. I mean, he's still in the fight, but I think his opponent is probably more of a Thai style guy where he wants to trade kicks and that kind of thing. Fighting someone like Nathan, it's just going to keep like messing with your tempo and stuff. It gets difficult to fight that way against them. It's a nice knee by him, but Nathan's strong in the clinch too. You know, and of course, One FC, they don't really let the clinch go too long anyway. Nice left hook to the body. It's a bit of a naked shot though, but it gets away with things because he's spent all this time setting things up. So you never know whether it's going to be a real shot or if it's just going to be a fake. So yeah, it was. You know, but I feel like he got tagged with the left hand over the top just because it was a naked shot. There wasn't really a jab or like a 1-2 to set that up. But still effective. You know, I'm sure his opponent needed to take a breath after that. Very strong hands. Let's have a look at that. Okay, yeah. I mean, sometimes. I mean, his opponent got away with it there. Some referees don't like it. That's sweet because it kind of comes under like joint manipulation, but it wasn't really. He did kick. Nice jab. I mean, look how tidy Nathan keeps his hands all the time. So you can see him in Nathan just having his way, you know, all the way through this fight. You know, he's found his rhythm, he's scoring effectively. That was nice by his opponent there. You know, not much came of it though. Let's see. Let's have a look. You know, you've got to imagine that his opponent's going to try and come forward and try and knock him out. Spoiler alert, he doesn't knock Nathan out. In fact, what you just see is more and more of the same thing. Okay, so I'll just skip through a little bit and then I'll show you a round from Nathan's most recent fight that I could find. Yeah, I mean, look at Nathan just teeing off on him with his hands. You know, these MMA gloves are really going to favour Nathan. Yeah, if you want to look back to the Seksan video that I did, you'll see that Seksan just becomes very easy to hit. You know, he's so tough and happy to trade with people. You know, when someone hits away that Nathan does, you know, you've got to kind of think, come on, you're going to get hurt now. But we'll see. You know, the fight hasn't happened yet, so yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to skip through this. You are just going to see more and more of the same thing. Just, you know, a lot of effectiveness by Nathan. Not enough to finish his opponent, but certainly enough to win. You know, by decision. What happened here? What happened there? Oh, I got poked in the eye. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just show you his most recent fight, which Nathan loses. Now, the reason I didn't show this one instead wasn't just because Nathan loses his fight. It's because that this particular opponent doesn't really have anything similar to Seksan. You know, this guy's much taller than Nathan's previous opponent that he was just fighting. And you know, this guy fights at a different kind of pace. Now, why I wanted to show you this last round is Nathan's hurt here. He's cut above his eye. You know, I don't think that Seksan would have the power to finish Nathan, but he may cut him with one of those elbows that he likes to throw, perhaps. I mean, anything's possible in a fight, especially with the smaller gloves. But I thought it'd be interesting to just show you you know, Nathan's toughness and willingness to stay in the fight. You know, this guy's very good. Coakley. You know, you can see that he's very marked up himself. You know, he's got swelling under his eyes. So Nathan's had some success in this fight. Nice work by Nathan. But you can see that cut now is, you know, he's bleeding heavily. This is actually from, you'll see on the ref's shirt, this is from a Road to One fight. Yeah, Nathan just taking too many shots on that eye. But look at his ability to stay in the fight, and you know that his vision in the eye would be severely compromised. Definitely one of the best guys coming out of the UK for a long time too. You know, I could say maybe the best guy since what's his name? There's Charlie Boy Peters, there's him, Liam Harrison. The other guy that just beat Nongo. I'm from the UK too, I should know. Let's see. I mean, you can see how bad that cut is, and Nathan really wants to stay in the fight. He's going to let it go. Yeah, it's interesting to see sometimes, not just when a fighter is just completely dictating a fight, but you know how they handle their losses and times when they are going through adversity, and you can see Nathan really goes with it. You know, his face is in a mess. Surely he knows that he's probably lost this fight, but he's still in there. You know, and going for him. You know, there's less than a minute left of the fight. And look, the footwork by Nathan, you know, going into that kick. Even though he has been hit here, you can see that he hasn't been hit with anything too strong. You know, he's got very effective head movement and movement in his feet too when he has to use it. That's why I kind of think, oh, another ad. Sorry guys. You should get Final Fantasy 16 if you've got a PlayStation. I'm sure it'll be good. Um, but yeah, I mean, look at the state of his face. I think he, I just think that, seeing what we're seeing, he's got a bit too much up his sleeve for Seksan. Where Seksan is in his career now. You know, yeah, I think that Nathan probably too strong for him. I think he's going to be able to, outmove him. Seksan has these moments where he looks very off balance. But sometimes the fighters surprise you, and Seksan is he's been around for a long time. He's a veteran. I'm sure that at some point he's fought someone with similar weapons to Nathan. I just think that Nathan does a little bit. I think his boxing is going to be a little bit too much for him, and his movement. But let me know what you think. Do you think Seksan will beat Nathan, or do you think Nathan will get him? But yeah, we'll see on the weekend anyway, and I'll record a video to reacting to that fight as well. If you do have any fights you want me to react to, or fighters that you want me to take a look at, even yourself, just post it in the comments and I'll have a look. Alright, I'll speak to you soon, guys.